Sumbu Kalambay was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo and was the firstborn of 17 children, as his father had two wives going on at the same time because of the Congo's polygamy laws. His father was an accountant, so he didn't struggle in poverty, and he wasn't forced to go into boxing. It was a friend of his brother that turned him onto the sport. Kalambay took to it like a duck to water and compiled an amateur record of 90 wins against 5 losses. And he would make it into the 1980 Olympics in Moscow before losing to the Puerto Rican representative. He would turn pro and defeat name opposition early on in his career, like Buster Drayton and Clint Jackson, before losing a decision to the Kronk's Dwayne Thomas and a split decision to Ayub Kalule. So Kalambay didn't serve notice until he upset the unbeaten Harold Graham over 10 rounds in a fight he was supposed to lose. From then on, he would earn a shot at the WBA middleweight title, which was now made vacant because Marvin Hagler would go on to face Sugar Ray Leonard. WBA stripped Hagler of the title, and Kalambay would face Iran Barkley. He would defeat Barkley over 15 tough rounds, but it was his most impressive win was against Mike the Body Stature McCallum. Mike McCallum was undefeated at the time. Kalambay broke his undefeated streak. McCallum had been a junior middleweight champion for several years, and Kalambay put on a clinic in that fight. He would then go on to defeat a divisional mainstay in Robbie Sims and score a highlight reel knockout over Doug DeWitt. Kalambay was riding high by March of 1989, and he would face Michael Nunn, but he would be knocked out in one round. Nunn had never been known as a one-punch knockout artist, and he caught Kalambay cold. Kalambay would then be forced to regroup. He would go back to the European circuit. He would defeat marginal contenders like Francesco Dell'Aquila and Frederick Sellier. And in 1991, he had a rematch with Mike McCallum. McCallum would break his ribs in the fifth round and go on to win a split decision over Kalambay. Kalambay would continue to campaign. He would defeat the likes of Steve Collins, but he would retire in 1993 at the age of 37 after losing a close decision to Chris Pyatt. So how good was Sumbu Kalambay? Extremely good, and frankly, he should be in the Hall of Fame given his credentials. He defeated most of the top middleweights post Marvin Hagler, and his first win over Mike McCallum, like I said, it looks like a boxing instructional. He handily beats the body snatcher. You can watch that fight on YouTube. He just puts on a clinic of jabs, overhand rights, slick movement, and he completely befuddles the undefeated Mike McCallum. But Kalambay is underrated and largely forgotten because of that knockout loss to Michael Nunn. That was his step up to the big stage, and the fact that he was a foreign-based fighter. He was an African transplant fighting out of Italy, so he had a language barrier not just to the fans of the U.S., but also Latin America. So no one but the most hardcore fans of the 1980s knows how good Sumbu Kalambay was. He belongs in the Hall of Fame.